Well, hello there. It's Andrea Bassett from Forcemeat Academy, and I'm wondering today if you're concerned about what you put in your mouth. Specifically, are you wondering if every bite of juicy sausage, every scoop of creamy chicken liver pâté, every slice of terrine that you stick in your mouth is just putting another nail in your coffin? Well, if you follow diets, ways of eating, of which there are many, you might think that all these foods, which I'm talking about, are based on animal products, are killing you. Hi, I'm Andrea Bassett from Forcemeat Academy, and full confession, I just was eating lunch, which was made of sausage and butter, so there is a chance I would just die right during this video. And if so, I totally apologize because that's very rude. Anyway, today we're going to talk about 16 different diets and whether forcemeat, which is basically stuffing, which makes sausages and pâtés and rillettes, animal foods, fat and lean meat together, if those are healthy according to popular diets or ways of eating. First of all, I want you to know, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, I am just sharing research that I've done on the internet with you, and I have an article that I will link to below which shares all that research, so you can go and see what I'm talking about and check the links to the studies and where I get this information. All right, so basically in nutrition we have two sort of groups. There's mainstream nutrition, who kind of thinks fat is the devil, especially animal fat. And then we have the other side, we have the low carb folks, and they think carbs are the devil, especially white flour. And what they would think of forcemeat is entirely different. So of course we all have to decide for ourselves, but I just want to run down the different diets and what they prescribe and how they would say forcemeat is healthy or not healthy. I'm going to start with the not healthy ones here. And you'll have to excuse me, I have a little infographic here which I've written my notes on, which you can get this infographic. It's very basic, I made it myself, on my website, so I'll link to that too. Alright, so let's go to the low-fat diet. Now the low-fat diet, they don't really comment about is animal fat healthy or not healthy, because it's all about the macros. So low-fat diet is 30% of your calories come from fat. Ultra-low-fat diet is 10% of your calories come from fat, which I think would be very hard to maintain. So if it fits your macros, force meat dishes like sausages and terrine and pâté, whatever, it would be fine, but because it's so low, it would be hard to fit very much of that in there. So I probably should have put that in a separate maybe category, but I didn't. All right, and then we go over to the Duken Diet. The Duken Diet is it is a high protein, lower fat diet. So forcemeat is more of a high fat, moderate protein way of eating. So this is kind of just about the macros as well. So if you do eat forcemeat in here, you'd probably just have to eat a tiny bit because you don't have that much wiggle room with your fat. So much so that they suggest if you want to eat dairy, that you eat fat-free dairy, which I think sounds very sad to me. Anyway, next is the South Beach Diet. South Beach Diet recommends you keep your saturated fats low. So forcemeat is all animal fats, all saturated fats, so that is out. The Zone Diet, they recommend low fat. And for the fats that you do eat, they suggest the monosaturated oils. So, that's not what Forcemeat's all about. So no for that one. The Mediterranean diet, that suggests you eat lean meat, small portions of meat, like meat is an accoutrement, not the main thing. Limit your red meat and your pork. So, there's actually not like a lot of red meat in some force meat dishes, but a lot of pork. Pork's a big thing, so that sort of throws that one out the window too. And then we have the governmental and organizational food guides. So MyPlate, which is the USDA food guide, they suggest keeping your saturated fats low. So that is a no. Good news is that there is advocacy over updating the USDA food guide, so it's more aligned to nutritional reality instead of nutritional dogma that's been passed along for 40 years as like heart disease and obesity have skyrocketed like this. Right, and then Canada's food guide is basically the same as the US food guide, low saturated fat. The World Health Organization food guide, they suggest low saturated fat. To their credit, they also suggest low trans fats. But on the other hand, they suggest eating vegetable oils is okay, including corn oil. So that's those industrial vegetable oils are not so good. That's my humble opinion, which is based on research. And in Britain, there's the Eatwell guide. And this guide is still telling people that saturated fat causes heart disease, which this has been hotly debated. If you know any of your food nutrition history, like decades ago, 50 years ago, the idea that saturated fat caused heart disease really caught on, thanks to Ansel Keys, who's never mind. And more research has been coming out saying like that's bad science. There's no basis for that. And then recently, I think in late 2019, maybe early 2020, there was a paper debunking that. So that's a step in the right direction. And on a side note, people really do buy into these food guides. Like I was, last time I was in a hotel, which was about 6 months ago. No, more like 10 months ago. I was watching some cable TV and I got on one of those channels, which was amazing, that one of Jamie Oliver's like Fast 15 or something, food shows was on, but then it was on again and again and again, and it was like the best channel ever. But what I noticed from that was that like Jamie Oliver is really into this low fat stuff too, right? Like he still cooks with meat, but like the yogurt, it was like this fat-free yogurt, and to be honest, it made me a little bit sad thinking that Jamie Oliver was living a fat-free lifestyle, because I just want that guy to enjoy a full fat lifestyle because he deserves it. He's a great guy, and he's so positive, and everything is gorgeous to Jamie Oliver, so I love that. Anyway, I digress. Next, we go to the DASH diet, and the DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, which is high blood pressure. And for fats, they suggest eating vegetable oils, not animal fats. So that's, throws that throws force meat out of the equation there. And then we just move on to 2 other diets, which is the vegan and vegetarian diet. So obviously force meats, which are animal foods, do not fit into those diets definitely for some people for ethical reasons, and then some people because they don't think it's healthy. All right, so now you might be thinking, oh my God, like I can't eat my sausages or my hamburgers or my pâtés because it's so bad. Everyone says it's so bad. But don't despair, because nutrition isn't changing, but what we're saying and experiencing about nutrition is changing. And, low carb is taking the world by storm, and it's called Keto. It's called Atkins. Well, actually, no, it's not called Atkins anymore. It was. Now it's called Keto. Movements like the primal movement and Paleo and carnivore and zero carb, like they are taking the world by storm, like very tiny, tiny storm. And people are having like great success, losing weight, losing disease symptoms, losing just the bladness that they had felt on other ways of eating. So that's like the good news. And in all those diets, like they're very pro animal foods because they're very nutrient dense foods. So if you want to move over and feel not guilty about eating your force meats, then this is the direction you want to head in: the keto, Atkins, paleo, primal, carnivore, zero carb. And then just one more diet is the gluten-free diet. Now I do have this on the left side of my chart here, where force meat is okay according to them, because in many cases force meat is gluten-free, though not always. But if you're gluten-free and combine that with one of these other nutritional dogmas, then obviously force meat's not going to be okay. So that's kind of up in there. Anyway, so it was a lot of talking. I feel like a little parched. Now, I just want to leave you with a couple things. One is that I did research all this. I've got an article. I've got this infographic. It's very basic because I made it myself in Canva, and this is the height of my infographic skills. But it does have color. Not at my house, but I have all this over on my website, and I have in this article I'll put down below called, what's it called? Is Forcemeat Healthy according to 16 popular diets. I also have a bunch of low carb resources, so if you want to learn more about low carb living, you can get there. Get those resources like Gary Taubes and Nina Tachol's and Dr. Georgia Eid and some other folks down there. All right, so that's all for me. If you like this video, please, click on the like button. If you want to see more of these videos, then subscribe on that button down there. And finally, just head on over to my website to get that article and look at all the research so this is legit. It's all coming from legit sources, and you can follow the trail for yourself. All right, well, that's all for now. I actually didn't finish the sausage for my lunch, so I'm going to go and finish it, and I'm just so relieved that I did not have the heart attack mid-video. Okay, thanks. Have a great day. Bye.